the Bible. Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding Him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy, you're invited. Live, as y'all can see, live here at Tabernacles. Oh yeah, look at all the saints, God's people, the Most High's people, live throughout the earth. There they go, the chosen people of the Almighty, here at Feast of Tabernacles, wrapped all the way around there. See that? All the way around, even past that area there. The children of Israel, right? The children of the Almighty, live. We'll be on tonight. All praises be to the Almighty. We're going to deal with some topics, the invisible chains of the children of Israel coming down, coming off, discussing what's going on with the cultural chains that have been placed on us by the synagogue of Satan, using the likes of T.D. Jakes, P. Diddy, and others. As the culture crumbles, so do Babylon. See you all tonight. Shalom. And they are the saints. Shalom, brothers and sisters. Shalom, shalom, shalom. We're here not too far. We just left the campground and thought we would come here and give our brothers and sisters out there, a quick broadcast, then get back to the campground. Shalom to my brothers and sisters throughout the four corners of the earth. Of course, we're the Gathering of Christ Church. And yes, I'm Elder Rawchaa, along with, of course, Elder Lawya. But we have a special guest that we dragged out of camp this evening. The Bishop of New York. Introduce yourself. You need no introduction, but introduce yourself. They don't usually see you with us, but go on.
Absolutely. Shalom, family. My name is Bishop Shamal from Gatekeepers Christ Church, New York City. All praise to the Most High.
All right. Now, hey, we got to talk. Speaking of New York City, folks, we got a broadcast for you tonight. You can see the title right there. The breaking of Judah's invisible chains. Well, what do we mean by the invisible chains? We're going to break that down. And we're going to have sort of a panel tonight where we'll discuss what's really going on under the cloud of P. Diddy, right? What is the Most High doing in the midst of all of this? And why all of a sudden the world powers, Elder Lawya and others, are taking one of their main players off of the chessboard, P. Diddy. We're going to talk about that because not too long ago, I mean, almost a year to date. Did y'all know that almost a year to date, September 15th, 2023, in New York City, this happened? This happened. Check this out. This was just 1 year ago.
New tonight, Sean Combs, known as Diddy, was arrested. Combs was arrested.
Hold up. Not that one. Not that one. I got him out of order. This just happened a year ago. Listen to this.
Look, our weather here can be inconvenient, certainly, right? Our weather here can also be dangerous.
He already has the keys to some pretty exclusive places, and now Sean Diddy Combs can add New York City to that list. It's Diddy Day in the city. Videos have been playing on the Jumbotron for TSX Broadway, and the crowd waited. Then around 11:30, the doors opened for the mayor and the artist.
The bad boy of entertainment is getting the key to the city from the bad boy of politics.
I want to thank y'all for this honor and just recognizing me being from New York, giving me the key to the city. Diddy finally has the key to the city.
Today's event coincides with the release of his new album, The Love Album, Off the Grid.
That was just 1 year ago to date. In almost the same month, the month of the trumpets, the 7th month, where there's an announcement made that could change going forward. 1 year back, he received the key to the city. Now,
New tonight, Sean Combs, known as Diddy, was arrested. Combs was arrested in the lobby of a hotel in New York City. The charges against the rapper turned music mogul aren't known yet, but it follows a wave of lawsuits filed against him, alleging sexual assault and an ongoing federal investigation. Investigators interviewed several people in relation to allegations of sex trafficking, sexual assault, and the solicitation and distribution of illegal narcotics and firearms, according to a source familiar with the investigation.
Now, did he have the illegal drugs and firearms a year ago?
Right.
An ongoing case from the feds, a RICO charge, racketeering, the man's law they use for, you don't know, we listen to that in the car, that they normally use against our people. And they're pulling out crimes dated back to the beginning of his actual career. But they didn't know all of this existed 1 year ago when they gave him the key to the city. Now, we're not here in defense of P. Diddy. Of course, with the church, we give a spin that most will not talk about concerning all of this with a prophetic lens. Right?
Breaking news, Sean Diddy Combs will not be getting out of jail anytime soon.
He's been locked up since his arrest on multiple charges, including sex trafficking. Eyewitness News reporter Rob Hayes is here to tell us why he's going to stay locked up for now.
Yeah, Sean Diddy Combs is headed back to the Metropolitan Detention Center. His attorney says he won't be in general population, but instead in the special housing unit. That's where El Chapo spent some time. A second judge today refusing to grant Combs bail for concerns about possible witness tampering.
He's going to be in special detainment. Almost similar to the same special care or area of the prison Epstein was protected.
Yeah.
You can't have him in a normal population. You have to have him someplace he'll be safe. Sort of like the safe place Epstein was kept.
Yeah.
Quite interesting.
We see how that turned out.
Yeah. Listen, if you're going to put me where Epstein was, listen, just push me in the general population, all right?
Right.
But anyway, let's go.
Another day in court for Sean Diddy Combs and another letdown. The hip-hop mogul once again asking a federal judge to let him await his sex trafficking trial at his luxury home on an island near Miami Beach, offering the $48 million home as collateral in a $50 million bail package and citing dire conditions at the detention center he was ordered to yesterday.
Okay, so he never really had a music career, according to the new charges. The whole, I would say, conglomerate that was set up was solely for a sex trafficking ring. And really, the music business, the rapping and Biggie and all of that was just, the front businesses.
Yeah, that was a side hustle.
That was his side hustle. Biggie Smalls was his side hustle. He was really using everything to deal with his clandestine sex trafficking ring. Wink, wink. And because of the houses that he actually acquired, which while doing this, Ciroc and all these others, legal businesses. Well, for some reason, all of his businesses that he acquired legal, well, they're really the housing, the mansions, they're all a part of the racketeering ring. So therefore, the government is going to be commandeering those, right?
Right.
Because it was really about the sex trafficking ring and not the music business. The legal business he was doing was really, like Lawya said, his side hustle.
But today, a different judge sent him back to his cell.
Someone's presumed innocent, so you're presumed that you get bail.
Now, we're going to keep it there on P. Diddy because I don't think it stops here. Why do I have a picture of P. Diddy and T.D. Jakes? Why is this titled The Breaking of Judas' Invisible Chains? Well, brothers and sisters, I titled that, and that title came to me this morning before I asked AC to put up this particular topic tonight, because what we're looking at are the faces of the invisible chain, controlled by the synagogue of Satan. What do I mean by invisible chains? One would have certain prestigious people or rich people of high acclaim from our community with status that through their work, it would keep our people, like I said last week, entrenched to the bottom. So there's invisible chains. There's invisible chains that comes with the religion we commonly follow. That's really controlled by Jesuits, Zionists, and others. And then there's the other cultural aspect that comes with the music business. Music, whether it be music or athletes. Mm-hmm. These are the places we can actually acquire generational wealth.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Our escape out of the impoverished state. So, of course, the enemy would control both of these areas using taskmasters. The cultural P. Diddy, who did so much in the music business, and he put a lot of people on too. But really, it was really to keep us culturally demonized by the rest of the world. Then you would have, what do I mean by demonized? Well, don't forget, the whole aspect of city girls, debauchery amongst our young women, came from Sean Combs. The whole City Girl. He had a group called City Girls that would destroy our daughters and push them further into degradation and debauchery using the business. And guess what? Who funded P. Diddy to uphold the Daughters of Zion as city girls. And then you would have T.D. Jakes. T.D. Jakes was used, him and Tyler Perry. They were both used as religious gatekeepers. Under the guise of religion, they were able, through Tyler Perry's movies, to actually desensitize us to the gay life, where our women would no longer take advice from the men in their house, but yet a cross-dressing big mama by the name of Tyler Perry. So you have T.D. Jakes, the religious, and I'm going to show you how strong T.D. Jakes' spirit was in changing everything when it came to the Christian ministry. Before T.D. Jakes, the community stayed in some type of moral standing through community churches. The mega church took all the uppity people and those that were what? Financially on the uptick out of the community, and they joined a social club now called mega churches. See? So he was used as a Pied Piper to destroy the community churches by replacing the churches with mega churches. And now, I believe they're both on the chopping block. Now, that's enough of my monologue. I would like to talk to you, Elder and Bishop. Let's talk.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk real quick, right? And we're just open real quick. When it comes to what's going on, let's first start with this. The media usually puts something out there for us to look or listen to distract us from something else going on. So before we go into P. Diddy and the scriptures concerning how these chains are being broken off of us, and because of that, and because of the chains getting broken off of us, what comes next? Elder Lawya and Deacon, Bishop Shamal, what exactly they're distracting us from? Let's start there. What should we be paying attention to instead of P. Diddy?
Well, there's so much things going on right now in the world.
Yep.
Political.
Hold on, wait.
Yes, sir. Sorry. There's so much things going on in the world right now. Political. As far as the migrants coming in right now, there's so much dynamics taking place, and people are getting kicked out of their houses right now as we speak in New York and in other places, and that's not really being brought out in the media in that type of sense. But we see that as well too. We see the political aspect of it, of changing of laws and rules and regulations in America, and we also see that as well too.
So right now they talking about P. Diddy and are ignoring the high eviction rate and the fact that the majority of our people are going to need to leave New York for the sake of self-preservation because they can no longer afford housing. And no one's talking about that. Elder Lawya.
Yes, sir. Just to read a scripture off the back of what Bishop Shamal was stating.
Okay, what you got?
Proverbs 14 and 15.
Proverbs 14, verse, let me get it so that they all can see it. Hold on. Proverbs 14, verse 15, you said?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me put it up there for the brothers and sisters out there. Proverbs 14, verse 15.
Right.
It reads, "The simple believeth every word, but the prudent man looketh well to his going."
Right. So I think they understand something about us as people in general, especially our people, the children of Israel, They understand that we believe every single thing that's put in front of us. And you put so many things out there from one week to the next. Think about this past month, how many things have hit the headlines, and you thought this was the main topic of discussion, the main conversation that would persist for at least a month. And before you know it, a few days go by, a week goes by, and now they put something else in front of you, and you're focused on a totally different conversation. And we've seen this happen throughout the course of the past few years, but just think about this past few months. Just last week it was all about the presidential debate and who won the debate, and then the fact checking of the debate, and then right after that, what happened? A second assassination attempt on the president. That hit the screen, that hit the news for a few days, and before you know it, this hits, and we totally forgot that happened. So, as the scripture says, the simple believeth every word. Yes. Everything they put in front of us, hook, line, sinker, we fall for it, and before we know it, all the important things, like you just mentioned, just pretty much go out the window.
Yep. Man, that's deep within itself. Because you know how the liberal media operates. There's no way with Kamala's polling, her polling is tanking right now.
Yes, it is.
There's no way in the midst of her polling tanking and people actually asking her whether or not she's going to do anything for our people. There's no way they was going to allow Trump to overtake the media cycle after a new assassination attempt, where now the sympathy goes towards the conservatives. So everything is timing for these people, especially in an election year. Everything is timing. They was like, well, hold up. We can't let him soak up all of the media. That's all they're going to be talking about. Okay, what we got here? Well, we got P. Diddy, who's already ready to turn himself in, and all these other things. Well, we're going to have to make him the biggest story right now so that nothing else matters. And a matter of fact, there's so many eyeballs looking at this. Let's do some more bombing on the Palestinians at the same time. Let's go bomb the Palestinians. And while they're looking at this, we have a long time between now and November. How about letting about another 2 million more illegal immigrants in to take over the black community? How about that? How about that? While everyone is looking every other place, the borders aren't shut yet. Let's open this up for 2 million more illegals that will utterly decimate the country and press upon the children of Judah. Now, I'm going to get back to so-called P. Diddy in a moment. But I need y'all to think about this, folks. If they destroy, and I believe they've done so, I don't think it was a coincidence with what they have done to hip hop, what they have done to the music genre, and watering the music genre down, putting non-talented people in position. Instead of Whitney Houston, they're giving us City Girls and Sexy Red. Okay. Instead of Michael Jackson and others, they've given us Nas X. Right? So it's no coincidence that they have been imploding any way that our people could acquire generational wealth. They can only do it one way or the other. If they destroy the music business altogether, that's actually closing a door that really gave our people some level of financial generational wealth or a hope to get out of our current condition. So now the door is shut. There's no music business anymore. There is no way of really making any generational type of wealth in the music business. And I think that's a sign that that door has shut. And I'm going to tell you why. That door is being used outside of what they wanted to use it for. They wanted to use it for control, debauchery. They wanted to use it to demonize our people. But we've been using for years, from the time of Sam Cooke, James Brown, Michael Jackson, even up to our current time. Kendrick Lamar. We've been using the music business to disturb the political arena by stating that we are the children of Israel. So there's no longer is the music business needed, because why? Because these people, TD Jakes, in the music business, gatekeepers, were actually put in position to keep us from ever finding out. So guess what? The paymasters no longer need people like P. Diddy. Mm-hmm. If you cannot keep these Negroes, who are the tribe of Judah, under control, we have no use for you. If the black people are now leaving the churches but still are following Christ, well, TD Jakes, we have no more need for you. It's time to expose you. The elites are coming down. And what part does God have in this? We're going to talk about that today. Elder Lawya.
Yes, sir.
If you will, let's go to the scriptures where the Most High brings judgment, and he says he starts at his sanctuary.
Yes, sir.
There's a spirit moving in the earth of judgment, for judgment. And I hear people out there talking, and we talked about that before the cameras came on. I know a lot of people talking about this. Let me tell you, what P. Diddy has done and what they're charging him for. Let me tell you, brothers and sisters, what Hugh Hefner did and others like him continue to do would make P. Diddy look like Little Bo Peep.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And everyone out there is looking at this and saying, well, guess what? Well, why is it that they're going to let these people go? And but the black man, they usually try to you want to make this a racial thing. But the whole thing is, folks, we can't have it both ways. If we're going to be out there saying they're not like us, we can't be like them.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yep.
There is a double standard. Our people have always been the moral compass of the world. So P. Diddy can't get away with what Hugh Hefner can get away with, because Hugh Hefner is not from the chosen stock of God. Mm-hmm. There's moral accountability that God has with his people. And to whom much is given, much is required. So we can't have it both ways. We can't be out there and brag about all the gift the Most High have given us to have our light shine and the talent he's given us, and not balance that and give praise to the God for the talent by living moral. See, it comes with something. You can't claim, well, they're not like us, but we're trying to be like them. P. Diddy even said that he's the black Hugh Hefner. See? So guess what? There's a double standard. And this is what they're telling our people. You should have been understood there's a double standard. You can't do what they do because the Most High didn't give them what you have. The Most High didn't give them our gifts, our talent. So therefore, we were supposed to carry this and treasure this spirit of being Jacob. Guess what, folks? Puff Daddy know we're Israelites. Okay? 100%. He was there when we were all on the streets in New York and all that. He listened. He came and listened many times. Okay? So I'm going to tell you this. So he knew right from wrong, but chose to be like them. Time and chance happens to all men. And right now, it's not just the world powers that's making P. Diddy an example. There's a judgment in the earth according to God for those who acquire everything and forget the God that made them. Okay? So don't try to say, and guess what? In an equal world, that conversation would have merit. I've said it many days. Why are you going to have them come down on P. Diddy and all that when this is all Hollywood does? Anything, let me tell you, if they can have a RICO charge every day of the week if they want it.
Yes, sir. Right.
They can start in the Kardashians' house if they want it. Mm-hmm. It's who we want to pick today to have a RICO charge, because drugs, women, sex, debauchery is the run of the mill for Hollywood. Mm-hmm. Elder Lawya, let's go to the book of Ezekiel.
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to tell you, if the brother make it through this, him being separated by himself in solitude may be the best thing for him. Mm-hmm. If he make it through this, and I don't know based on all the information he's acquired, whether or not they're going to allow him to walk out alive. Mm-hmm. He know too much. But if the Most High does give him the grace to actually step out of there, him being alone, which is him and the Most High, reflected on all the opportunity he had, might be the best thing for him. It might save him from itself, because you see what he do with everything. This may be his road to Damascus moment, where he don't have enough money or enough riches and all that to destroy himself. And I'm always looking on the forgiveness side, the hope that someone has an opportunity to change side. It may be the best thing for him that the Most High allow it to be snatched away. Right? I mean, he would have been better off. Let me tell you this before I read the scriptures. He would have been better off taking his money, all of his money, and going into all the inner cities and just throwing it all out there in each major city where our people are suffering. He'd been better off doing it that way, because the vultures, they're circling. Be it his lawyer or other lawyers, civil cases, and everything else, folks, they are making sure that generational wealth doesn't trickle down to our people at a time when they're trying to replace us. If he really wanted to show, instead of turning himself in, if he really wanted to show something, knowing that they're going to take everything from him and they may not allow him to walk out of that jail alive anyway, he'd have been better off taking all of his money and going into all the neighborhoods and say, now what? I'm throwing my money in the streets. Because right there, he would have did what? He would have won the neighborhood to back him and be behind him. He could have just threw it out there and say, listen, whatever happens to me, it's whatever. And you know what? Everybody would have got in front of him and say, no, you're giving us resources to oppose the immigrants that the government has been throwing money to. And guess what? That's a message to all of the other so-called stars out there and celebrities out there, because it won't be too long before you're next. And either you give it back to your people or the vulture's going to take it. That's your choice. Now, if you give it out to the people, there's nothing for them to come for. I'm going to tell you. And I know they look at these broadcasts. I'm going to tell you, they may just have to just throw their money in the streets and say, I'm now financing my people against the what? The invisible war. The immigrants coming into our community is a war. It'd have been better throwing it off in the streets. But let's break down what's going on spiritually here. We're in Feast of Tabernacles. After the trumpet, after atonement, we're going to talk about what's going on at the camp a little later. Mm-hmm. But Elder Lawya, let's get Ezekiel and show brothers and sisters in the heavens what's going on, if you can.
Yes,
I'm going to the book of Ezekiel. Let me put it up here for the brothers and sisters. The book of Ezekiel. Ezekiel, the 9th chapter. So this is what's going on in the heavens, folks. For those who don't know to why the gatekeepers are coming down. Ezekiel 9, verse 4.
Yes, sir. Ezekiel 9 and 4.
Let's read it, Elder Rawchaa.
And the Lord said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof.
So the Most High is telling the angels, go set a mark on the people who understand, who are crying concerning the oppression on God's people in the earth. The Most High see the satanic governments, folks, undermining us, pricing us out of being able to live, giving the so-called illegals who are nothing but mercenaries, finances, and housing to press upon and destroy the children of Judah. And the only resolve or answer they have for us in the government is, well, if you can't afford to live, then if you're pregnant with a child, kill it. The only solution the governments are giving our people is to abort their children. And so guess what? The prayers of the saints have gone up before the Almighty, and we ask for a judgment. And don't complain with how the judgment looks. This is what happens when no one on earth will help our people, so God brings help. So here's the help. He says, you put a mark, which is a hedge over everyone who seek to serve me and want to do right in this earth. Because when I come through, nothing is going to be left except those who are on my side. And that's what our God is saying. He told the angels, listen, we are about to wreck shop down there. We are about to wreck shop down there. Anyone with any influence, power that can actually help our people have betrayed my people. They see our people suffering. And when they get amongst the Gentile nations, they forget my people exist. You go set a mark on my people. Because when I come through, I'm wrecking everything. Only those who have the mark will escape this. So to some degree, the Most High is given what? He's given the powers that shouldn't be on earth. He's given them the authority to take down. Yep. So what he does is he put a hedge over those who belong to him, and he let the enemy wreck shop amongst our people who refuse to come back to God. Who refuses? Let's read it, Elder Lawyer.
Verse 5. And to the others he said in my hearing, Go ye after him through the city, and smite. Let not your eye spare.
Let not your eyes spare.
Neither have ye pity.
Neither have you pity.
Slay utterly old and young.
Whether you're old or young.
Both maids and little children.
Maids, young girls and little children.
And women.
And what?
And women.
And women. And you notice when the so-called pandemic was on the scene, they started with the elderly first, and a lot of people got wiped out and are no longer amongst us, because these are the people who didn't listen. A lot of them were actually listening to the government powers who now have the authority to take out those without the mark. So who would listen to them? They're the spiritual warfare in the earth against us. So why would you listen to them? Because you don't have the mark of God. You don't fear God. So guess what? You have given them the autonomy to take you out. This is how judgment looks. But what?
But come not near any man upon whom is the mark.
But those good people down there, the remnant of God who still believe, protect them. Guide them. And these are the people with the mark who's going to be reporting on the judgment of God, like you see before you today. P. Diddy, folks, is he's the second domino to fall. What did I tell you all, folks? When they came after R. Kelly, what they have done in the earth was set a new precedent. Mm-hmm. They set a new precedent. Where it's not El Chapo with kilo of drugs for RICO charges and racketeering anymore. Having a disgruntled relationship and a person who felt you did them wrong, and now you come into some money, or you done somebody wrong and you've come into some money. At any time under a RICO charge, they can pull up the girlfriend you were with at the age of 23 and add her to a RICO charge to you because she's doing nothing in her life right now.
Right.
And I told you that. I said, y'all sit there and allow them to get away with this? A new president have been set because guess what? The Constitution is void. There's no statute of limitations. They can sit back and wait for you to acquire wealth. Even after you become, I'm not adding P. Diddy here, after you become a better person at an older age, that doesn't matter. Okay? We as a people, as the children of Israel, they don't give us the autonomy to change and go into the twilight and die unscathed. They don't give us that opportunity. They'll never give us that. But now they set a precedent to where it doesn't matter what happens with the tribe of Judah. Even if you turn a new leaf, they'll go back and find someone who had a problem with you 20 years ago and say that's a RICO charge. I told y'all they was going to do this. And now that they don't open up those can of worms, guess what, folks? I said this as soon as they came after R. Kelly. They're taking generational wealth from every mogul and everyone that has generational wealth amongst our community who've acquired it in the music business. They're going to take it. Because guess what, folks? I know how the music business rolls. And there is no music business when I was coming up without a lot of young girls underage running after every concert through every city. Mm-hmm. Whether it was New Kids on the Block, whether it was New Edition, whether it was Belle Biv DeVoe when they broke up. After the concert, there was nothing but underage girls in the hotel rooms. Mm-hmm. Because they were the ones buying the tickets.
Right.
They were the ones buying the tickets. Women in their 20s and 30s, they weren't going to those teeny bopper shows. They were getting on with life, going to church, having children. It was the demographic between 15 and like 18, 19 that was going to those concerts. So you can think about it, whether it be Keith Sweat, whether it be Bobby Brown, whether it be New Edition, all of them, Johnny Gill, you name it. Hey, and then I'm not even talking about on the hip hop side.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick. When that came out, I was a teenager and we were all going to the concerts downtown. And right after those concerts, guess what? The young girls would be at the hotels and everyone knew it. Everyone knew it. And guess who was keeping tabs the whole time? Amalek. The controllers. They were keeping tabs the whole time at all these concerts. So guess what? They're taking all the generational wealth. And now that the immigrants will replace our people, folks, that glass ceiling has lowered for our people to be able to acquire generational wealth. And then we're looking at the sports side of things, right? The sports side of things. Why do you think that the NFL is doing international games? They're going into Brazil introducing the games. They're going into Africa and different parts of the UK to get actors cosplaying Black American people here, Judah in America. They become the new actors. They become the new, because guess what, folks? There were more slaves dropped off in Brazil than America. So that's going to be your new pool for sports. Mm-hmm. Africa is going to be the new pool for sports.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Why? Because Judah have sounded the trumpet. It's through Judah that the whole world understands who the children of Israel are. It's to a point where even Candace Owens, it have reverberated throughout every class. You can say what you want. Candace Owens would be considered high class. And even she's out here calling them the synagogue of Satan, using the same scriptures that the po folks were using on the streets. It's like, you know what? We have to shut Judah down. They're causing political disruption throughout the whole earth. And we have to make sure these people don't have generational wealth. And we have to go after all of the high positions that allow them to acquire it. Let's talk about it. Let's read that last part again, Elder Lawyer.
Yes, sir. Verse 6. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women.
And who?
And women.
And women.
But come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary.
And begin where?
And begin at my sanctuary.
And this is why P. Diddy and others can't get away with what others have gotten away with. Because when judgment comes, God starts with his people first. He says, nah, I know the world is evil, but we're going to start at where? We're going to start amongst the children of Israel first. Why? Because the Most High gave us the task of delivering morality to the earth with the laws of God. See? We know better. He says, so when judgment comes, so that no one can claim that the Most High is impartial, more of God's people is going to die opposed to anyone else. Because he's going to start with us. Hey. And then they began where?
And then they began at the ancient men which were before the house.
And it starts with the ancient men, the wise men who know better. People like T.D. Jakes and others who know better. People who are like in what? The Boule, who know better, folks. And the Freemasons, who know better. You can say what you want. They are well-learned men. Mm-hmm. And above all, folks, they know they're wrong. They know the same knowledge they've acquired could actually help our people. But they're only keeping that knowledge for a niche group to become controllers while our people die in the streets. So the Most High is saying, you know what? All the traitors, they've had ample opportunity to get themselves together. Go after them. And folks, no one is safe. When I say the whole music business is done, folks. Any 2 times the world would allow Whitney Houston to be drowned in a tub while everyone was still partying at the Grammys and say nothing. That there was a sign. Whitney Houston goes over to Israel, say she's an Israelite, her and Bobby Brown, get baptized in the River Jordan, only for about a year later to be found in a tub with bruises and stuff, while everyone's still partying. That should have been a sign. Folks, they're going to knock them all down. They're knocking them all down. And there will be no new generation of hip hop. Why? This is why they're flooding our areas with new people that have brought ancient religions to our shores. So that there will be no new culture that could grow beyond the culture that brought us what? Tupac. Can you imagine what Tupac would have become? With how he was thinking at the age of 21 and 22? I need y'all to think about that. He says, no, when these people get together and do music, when they get together and create, God is there. They change lives, and eventually they will affect the world politically. We must eradicate the world of any culture that comes from these people, because God comes through them. So let's bring over the Hindus, the no-talented Hindus, the no-talented Asians. Just bring anybody over with no talent at all, but we're going to extinguish the strong spirit of Judah, is what you're seeing. So I'm giving you I'm showing you the judgment of God, but then I'm also showing you how it plays out real time in the earth through judgment, where the Most High allow those from the dark side to wipe away those who cease to repent. He'll let them, and it tell you in Thessalonians, he that letteth will let until the Most High take him out of the way. The synagogue of Satan is going to always operate against us. And anytime we refuse to come back, the Most High will use them to come against us. Okay? If you're into witchcraft, you're into sorcery, you're into evil, whatever you're into, eventually, when you get out of hand, guess what? He'll use Esau to come against you. A matter of fact, Elder Lawya, matter of fact, if you get that too, let's get that in Kings real quick. When King Solomon went off, and y'all want to talk about a big party. Y'all want to talk about somebody who's getting together with all types of drugs and all types of women and all this others. Hey, let me tell you folks, we don't need to look any further than King Solomon. See? When you acquire everything and forget the God that made you. Okay? I'm going to show you what happens when you go against the Almighty and begin to philander with all these different women and all that. The example was in the Bible with King Solomon. Elder Lawya, and then it shows you who the Most High uses if you refuse to come back. And P. Diddy, if you got a computer, you need to be hearing this. Let's get it out of Kings real quick, Elder Lawya.
1 Kings 11:1.
1 Kings, thank you, Elder Lawya. 1 Kings 11:1, let's read it.
But King Solomon loved many strange women.
King Solomon loved many strange women.
Together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Zidonians, and Hittites.
Man, he was having a party. Read.
Of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, Ye shall not go into them, neither shall they come in unto you, for they will surely turn away your heart after their gods. Solomon clave unto these in love.
Solomon clave to these in love. He ended up building temples to these women. And guess what, folks? Sex rituals and all of that stuff comes out of what happened with Solomon. Mixing what? Religious practices and sexual activity. That's what was going on, folks. Opening up a gate of debauchery to where now the children of Israel would begin to operate like this. And then guess what, folks? Eventually he was convinced to actually build a temple to the god Milcom, which is the god for child sacrifice. Need you to think about this, folks. I need y'all to think about this. Because if you're having this big party and all these others in debauchery, no one understands to a degree who these children are, and usually they were given to the priest or sacrificed because they didn't really belong to anyone. So this is why they legalize abortion in our community. Because when you give free love and free sex and all that without accountability, you bring forth children to be sacrificed to Moloch. Same thing. So unrighteous children were coming out of these unions. The Most High warned Solomon 2 times and he didn't listen. So let's go straight to what the Most High does once Solomon go off with all these women. 14, let's read it.
And the Lord stirred up an adversary unto Solomon.
So what did the Most High do?
And the Lord stirred up an adversary unto Solomon.
The Most High stirred up an adversary unto Solomon. Who?
Hadad the Edomite.
Hadad the who?
The Edomite.
The Edomite.
He was of the king's seed in Edom.
He was from the royal seed of the Edomites. So if you don't do right, knowing what's right, the Most High he'll stir up the synagogue of Satan and allow the vultures to come after you. So I don't want to hear that crap. Well, the white man did this and the white man did that. The white man can't do nothing the Most High God won't allow. You're only complaining about him because you're not willing to listen to God. Because the Most High will only cut Esau against those and lead Esau against those who disobey him. See? So the same way the Most High stirred up the King Edomites against Solomon for going off with all these women, that is what happened to so-called P. Diddy. And he's not the only one. Let me tell you, say what you want. Sean Combs was hip-hop culture's royalty. Untouchable. He was in the billion sphere. Houses all over the place. Any place he go in the world, they would roll out the red carpet like he's king. Guess what? Just like Solomon, to some degree, he's not on that level, but he believed he was untouchable. So what did the Most High do? The same way he did in the past. He said, you know what? I'm going to stir up the Edomites, the lawyers, the gatekeepers, the synagogue of Satan. I'm going to have them all come together and take away every cent this man ever made. And guess what, folks? And when it happens, even P. Diddy himself going to understand why it happened. And at the end of the day, he's going to know it was our God who took it from him. And see, and that's the piece no one wants to actually talk about. People are just talking on the surface. People are just talking on the surface, folks. What else you got, Elder Lawya?
Yes, sir. You holding something in Second Esdras?
Yes, sir.
What you got in Second Esdras, sir?
I know you're holding one in Galatians, right? You got one in Galatians, too?
Yes, sir.
All right,
Oh, no.
Go ahead, let y'all flow. Go ahead, flow.
All right. You can get that first in 2nd Esdras 3:27. Yep.
What is it? 2nd Esdras what?
Yeah, 3:27.
2nd Esdras 3 and 27.
Okay, let me get it here so they can see it, okay?
All right, I'm gonna just preface it. You can break it down.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Because as you're bringing out, a lot of people are asking these questions as far as how can the other nations do it and get away with it and be celebrated for it, become heroes for it, but yet we do it, and now we're the worst scum of the earth. Okay, we're the worst thing since cockroaches, right? Well, let's see. Let's go to the book of 2nd Esdras 3:27.
2nd Esdras 3 and 27. And so thou gavest thy city over into the hands of thy enemies. And their deeds then any better that inhabit Babylon?
It says, are their deeds any better than inhabit Babylon? Are they better than us? Are we more wicked than they? Are we more perverse than they? Are we more evil than they? Go ahead.
Are their deeds then any better than inhabit Babylon, that they should therefore have the dominion over Zion?
That they should have the dominion over Zion. How could a people more idolatrous, more perverse, more salacious than us have power over us?
Yeah, what are they doing in Israel? How could the Most High give his holy land to an unrighteous people is what the prophets are asking. Read on.
Verse 29. For when I came thither, I had seen the impieties without number. Then my soul saw many evildoers in this 30th year, so that my heart failed me.
So Ezra's saying he saw all kinds of madness in Babylon. They talking about, can I say the word? That's floating around there, the free golfs. They talking about that. I mean, Ezra saw all kind of madness over there in Babylon.
Man, freak offs came from Babylon. Who do you think? Who do you think they coming into our neighborhoods, folks? Who's going to be tricking our young daughters into coming behind their stores? And the next thing you know, they're having little children with so-called good hair. The freak offs came from Babylon. Come on.
Verse 30. For I've seen how thou sufferest them sinning, and hast spared wicked doers, and hast destroyed thy people, and hast preserved thy enemies, and hast not signified it. Verse 31. I do not remember how this way may be left. Are they then of Babylon better than they of Zion?
So are the Babylonians better than us, the prophets are asking? These people are straight satanic freaks. Why do you think the LGBT community, they're all going into these so-called Asian religions, these Buddhist religions, these Eastern religions? Because all of that sexual, transsexual stuff is accepted amongst their priesthood.
Right.
I need y'all to check this out. Everyone is leaving the Bible and going into some Asian Babylonian type of religion, not realizing they know that these are the religions that began the freak-offs. Read on.
Verse 32. Or is there any other people that know of thee besides Israel? Or what generation have so believed thy covenant as Jacob?
So we haven't been perfect, but we're better than these people. That's what Esdras is saying. But now if you look at how P. Diddy and others is operating today, you would think, guess what? There's no difference now. A matter of fact, a lot of us have exceeded their wickedness. Read on.
Verse 33. And yet their reward appeareth not, and their labor have no fruit. For I have gone here and there through the heathen, and I see that they flow in wealth.
He say he went amongst the Gentile nations, like going to Manhattan, Rittenhouse Square, and all these rich areas today. He see how much wealth they've acquired, how rich they are. And Ezra is like, man, why are you allowing these people to be so rich, how wicked they are? Like your Hugh Hefners and others. And people can say what they want about P. Diddy. Guess what? Epstein was doing this with children. They do stuff, and I'm talking about real. That's why even R. Kelly said, well, listen, man.
Exactly.
I don't have nobody down there with chains.
Exactly.
As if he knew that there's a lot of these Hollywood people that be having these children down in the basements in chains from other countries and all that, and selling them to their little rich friends. And they flow in wealth. The Most High say these other nations are wicked and rich. Read.
And I see that they flow with wealth, and think not upon thy commandments.
And they could care less about God's commandments. Read on.
Verse 34. Weigh thou therefore our wickedness now in the balance, and there's also that dwell in the world.
So compare what we do to them. We're not as bad as these other people, is what Esdras is saying. And you know what? We're still the moral compass, but guess what? We're losing badly now. Because there's so many of our people have gone away from God in the Bible. At least back then, we still had some similitude of faith towards our God. Read.
And so shall thy name nowhere be found but in Israel.
If it wasn't for the Israelites, no one would know the true name of God. Read.
Verse 35. Or when was it that they which dwell upon the earth have not sinned in thy sight? Or what people have so kept thy commandments? Thou shalt find that Israel by name have kept thy precepts, but not the heathen.
And I'm glad you went into that, because that also falls into why the Most High judges us so. Because the Most High never gave them the commandments. See? He never. So now we're required to do right when blessed. We're required to bless others, not get in a position with finances to hurt our people and make us in worst case. Now that you got the money to do so and the riches to do so. That same money this brother was using for freak offs and everything else, you know how many children could have been fed? You know how many houses, you see them putting up whole housing communities for the immigrants. You know how many housing places that could have been put up in New York where P. Diddy came out of? So that's the shame part of this, because they'll sit back and our own people will see our people suffer and not come together like the Oprahs, like the Tyler Perrys, like the P. Diddy's, and say, you know what? I see them regenifying our people. We need to get a shell company that no one knows is us and put our money through that for construction and build. If they build something for immigrants, we're going to build 10 of them for our people, because these are the people who have supported us. And all of their support have led to our glory, have led to our recognition. From the grassroots, my own people have supported me. So now, they never gave back. And the Most High is saying, you know what? I'm taking it. I'm taking it. The Gentiles build right under you, knowing that it's going to affect your children. These are going to be the next door neighbors of your children. People who've come from rat poor dirt areas, who have always held vitriol against and envied Judah in America. And now they're going to be living next door to your daughters. Next door to your sons. And those who have the financial fortitude to help battle against this stuff, to help us financially against this stuff, is that some freak putting all money in freak parties and all that and think there isn't a judgment. Go ahead, Elder Lawya. You take it from here.
Yes, sir. 1 Timothy 6 and 9.
1 Timothy 6, verse 9.
It's off the back what you were just saying about how the money is spent in debauchery.
Yes, sir. 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 9.
1 Timothy.
All right, you can break it down.
6, verse 9. Read it.
Yes, sir. 1 Timothy 6 and 9. But they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, And into many foolish and hurtful lusts.
And into many foolish and hurtful lusts. Read on.
Which drown men in destruction and perdition.
Which drown men in destruction and perdition. And what happens? Read.
For the love of money is the root of all evil.
For the love of money is the root of all evil. So once the paymasters knew that they could control him through his lust, his insatiable appetite for power, they said, you know what? We got him. We're gonna let him go as long as we want, as long as he doesn't cross us. He can have all the parties he wants. He can do whatever he wants. As a matter of fact, we'll use his parties. But it's no sooner as he crosses, it's over. For the love of money is the root of all evil. Read.
Which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith.
They have erred from the faith.
And pierced themselves through with many sorrows.
And pierced themselves through with many sorrows. Because one thing you can't say about any of these brothers that are now under judgment. No one can claim that they don't believe in Christ or weren't raised to know Christ. See? So now what the Most High is doing, he's destroying all of these invisible chains that were on us. Somehow, the music culture had a control mechanism on our people. I'm going to tell you, it had a hold on us for years. Because why? The culture is dictated through our culture, the music. We could dream to one day be on a big stage and have everyone enjoy the gifts of our art given by the Almighty. It gave us hope when we seen someone with a unique voice or a unique talent amongst us. And we would say to one another, man, one day you're going to make it. And knowing that, there was a level of hope. But the enemy seen it as something else. They seen it as a control mechanism because we love music so much. We love our culture so much, they could use it as an invisible prison and a form of control. And this is what I'm going to tell you, this is how they did it. They say these people love God, so we must now put gatekeepers over them through what? Through their pastors, through the church. They don't know they're Israel, but guess what? They spirit know it. These people cleave to Christ as if he's family. So we need to control that invisible chain. The music was our what? Always was our political inroad to fight against injustice. Sam Cooke, a change is going to come. It united everybody during that time, during the civil rights movement, for that change. James Brown, Muhammad Ali, all of them were together through that culture. All the way up until when Tupac was rapping and talking about, listen, look at all these homeless people and how much money we have, and yet you're going to let our people suffer all up in the city suffering. Something ain't right. The music was actually speaking to the grassroots, and God was using our culture to change the world, and they knew it. So the synagogue of Satan put gatekeepers over all of these areas. But guess what? These gatekeepers are no longer needed. Mm-hmm. And that's really, you know, the end of it in a nutshell. I need y'all to think about this, folks. They're no longer needed. Now that we know we're the children of Israel, what can T.D. Jakes show and teach us? I'm not even going to talk about the rumors and stuff. You notice he went dark after that swallow meme went viral. Have you ever been swallowed? Been swallowed. You notice he just went dark after that. You notice that. So now, that was a chain broken off of our people. Because these guys are able to cast serious spells on others and have us believe they are anointed through the Spirit of Christ and the blood of Christ. So Christ have broken that chain off of us. And it's not that we're going to stop believing because of the likes of T.D. Jakes. Now it is upon us to stand on our own 2 feet, to find the God in Christ T.D. Jakes claimed to believe in. It freed us to learn beyond their controllers. Now their controllers are no longer needed, and the enemies are looking at this and saying, well, okay, how do we get back the money we've given them to control those people? We're only giving them the status and money as a form of control as gatekeepers. Now that the Israelites know, what use we have of them anymore? Bring over the Hindus. Okay? Bring over the Hindus. Bring over the Arabs. Bring over the Muslims. Okay? Maybe the Muslims can do a better job in keeping these Judites in check. Bring over the drug cartels from Venezuela. Maybe the drug cartels can do a better job in keeping Judah in check. Because guess what? The pastors and the gatekeepers in the music business have dropped the ball. And I'm going to tell you, when it was over for P. Diddy, it was over for P. Diddy, brothers and sisters, when he opened up a revolt conversation in 2022 on his media platform to discuss reparations. 2022, he said, y'all gonna have to do something for us to discuss reparations. And then he came around because he know we're Israelites. You think he didn't know what Kanye West was going to say on Drink Champs? Huh? You think he didn't know? So Amalek, the synagogue of Satan, who control it all because they're really the gatekeepers. Let me tell you, the synagogue, or what you would call the Sanhedrin, folks, a lot of y'all don't know. The Sanhedrin in Jerusalem, it was their position under the Romans to keep Israel, our people, under control. That's the actual position of the synagogues. They're the gatekeepers to keep us from what? Disrupting the status quo of world politics. The same way during the time of Christ, it was Herod. Herod, the Greek. Herod, the converted Jew over Jerusalem, who had to report when the child was born. And guess what? There was a decree. If that child of Judah is born under your watch, Herod, you must kill the child. And that's the anointed Christ. They're the gatekeepers to control our movements throughout the earth. That's their position politically in the earth. So if the gatekeepers like these guys can't do it, then Amalek will go get some Hindus. See? They'll go get some Asians. They'll go get some Ukrainians, whoever. Because it's their position politically to keep up that invisible wall that keeps Israel from rising politically in the earth. That's just the way it is. So these guys' time has come. And based on where we are in prophecy right now, they'll never be going forward. There'll never be moguls amongst our people. They won't allow it anymore. This is the end of the mogul generation. Mm-hmm. Hence the reason Russell Simmons is on an island somewhere where he can't be extradited. He chose an island, a non-extradite island, to make sure the governments of the United States couldn't come after it. It's the end of moguls. Let me tell you, folks, I'm going to tell you right now. The world powers, the whole construct, is really the mob. It's really the mob, folks, when you look at it. And I need y'all to think about this. In that movie, The Godfather, when they were seeking to have their children become politicians, they came over as street gangsters, drug peddlers, but really the real goal was to control the politics of the earth. That's where the real gangsters are. In Congress, in Senate, those are the real gangsters. Right. See? So I'm going to tell you right now, folks, how they did this. Even when it came to Dr. Dre. When Dr. Dre had Beat by Dre's, and they say, man, he just sold Beat by Dre's to Apple for $3 billion. He got it going on. Oh, you thought he had a choice not to sell Beat by Dre's? Huh? Barry Gordy has the greatest record company that have known to man and sell his record company for $50 million. Oh, at that time, that was a lot of money. Do you think Barry Gordy had a choice not to sell Motown? Y'all don't understand what this is. There's an agreement that you can only go but so far. And when it comes to these companies, they must go back to the people who gave it to you. And that's the only way they'll allow you to get out to some degree unscathed or without an humiliation ritual. And what's going on right now? For those who don't want to play ball like the Dre's and Barry Gordy, they go out under the humiliation ritual. Because there's no reason that they should be putting out there that P. Diddy had 1,000 bottles of olive oil somewhere. As if they're not trying to humiliate it.
No, they say baby oil.
Baby oil, yeah, not olive oil. I mean baby oil. I'm thinking about
anointing.
He needed 1,000 bottles of olive oil, I tell you that.
Right.
They said 1,000 bottles of olive oil and lube. If that's not a humiliation ritual, where someone says that, listen, and by the way, they put in an affidavit, 1,000 bottles of lube and olive oil. I'm like, what is this in the draw up for? It's a humiliation ritual. So not only will they break you, they'll have you going out in shame. Now, guess what? And P. Diddy would tell you, they came to him and say, well, listen, this thing with Kanye West and all that, you can't do that no more. Right? You can't do this no more. So when he had Kanye on Drink Champs, that was it for him. And then, check it out. When Candace Owens started talking about Kanye West, she got canceled. What do they both... Guess what? Claiming you're Israel, folks, is the combination that opens the lock. This is why they don't want you speaking about it. Because you can no longer be controlled by their controllers once you know it. That's the combination that breaks the law. Right? Go ahead, Elder Lawya, what you have?
Yes, sir. I got one more. I know Bishop Shamal got a few as well.
Okay.
What you just broke down is the spirit that you just went into humiliation ritual. Because the Bible breaks down the process of how they do the humiliation ritual. Habakkuk 2:15. The scriptures tell us two things about Satan. And for the life of me, I can't understand how we fall for it every single time. We have seen this story before. We know this cautionary tale. We've heard it. We've seen it a million times. Yet in 2024, we got our entertainers, we got our artists, we got everyday brothers and sisters falling for the same exact trick. The Bible says that the serpent is more subtle than any beast of the field, and it also tells us that there's nothing new under the sun. So let's see what the Bible tells us about how the serpent operates, specifically in regards to what Elder was mentioning about the humiliation ritual.
Okay, let me grab that out of the Eastward real quick. All right, what's the chapter and verse?
Habakkuk 2:15.
Okay, let's see here. Habakkuk 2, verse 15.
Yes, sir. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 15. Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink.
So the Bible says, woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink. He gives you the Hennessy. He gives you the Ciroc. Hands it to you. Right? Now check this out. Go ahead.
That puttest thy bottle to him.
And you put the bottle to him. He's almost refusing the Hennessy. He don't want the Ciroc. Now what's in the drink? The drink, what's in the drink is be a homosexual. Do drugs, get high, fulfill your sexual fantasies, do as thou wilt. All of that is in the bottle. And it says he put the bottle to you. He forced the bottle on you. You don't want the bottle. You say, I don't want to be a homosexual. I don't want to fulfill my fantasies.
And if you're 50 Cent, you don't want to go shopping.
I don't want to go shopping. I don't want to sniff coke. I don't want to get high.
He asked 50 Cent, you want to go shopping. Hey, man, what you say, man? What you say to me, boy?
Right.
But anyway.
Right. Check this out. I don't want to do the freak offs. I don't want to do that. But check out how the devil works. It says he forced the bottle on you until you drink it. Read on.
And maketh him drunken
and
also.
And he makes you drunk also. And check out what he does when you become drunk. Go ahead.
That thou mayest look on their nakedness.
That he may look on your nakedness.
Man.
He turn around while you drunk and say,
and now,
look at him.
Next thing you know, he's sitting there, click, 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 click.
Wow.
He's sitting there, he'll go behind a wall, the other room, and there's a hole in the wall. You see an eye moving. That thou mayest look on their nakedness. So he'll force you to do it, only to be able to use it against you and shame you with it.
Exactly.
So at one point, when his talent receded to a degree where he couldn't make money anymore, these parties became his business.
Exactly.
And he acquired so much information on these people that he could actually, if he wanted to, blackmail his way into billions. I'm not saying that allegedly happened, but it seemed as if he started to realize how much power he had with all of the information concerning videos with those who were at his parties. And it seems like this scripture, man, is so deep. Because it's exactly, Elder Lawya, what they are accusing him for doing.
Right.
They'll get inside these places, and next thing you know, he got somebody spiking a bottle or whatever, making some psychedelic stuff and saying, oh, drink. And then after you drink, he's looking on your nakedness, shaming you. And now saying, you belong to me now.
Right. Right.
Now, I'm not saying this is what he's doing. But here are the accusations, and this should be what? A cautionary tale. Because eventually it's going to be God himself who's going to say from the heavens, stop now. And if you don't stop, he's going to stop you. Go ahead, Elder Lawya.
That's it. That's it on that.
Anything else y'all got?
Yes, sir. I have something here in Ephesians 4.
Ephesians 4.
Yes, sir. Verse 17. Talking about breaking from the chains, as you say. So Ephesians chapter 4, verse 17, it reads, "This I say therefore, and testify in the Lord, that ye henceforth walk not as other Gentiles walk."
Exactly. So we can't do. Diddy can't do what Hugh Hefner did and live a long life and die of old age without dying in jail.
Right. And become an American
Yeah,
icon.
Hugh Hefner is an American icon. And there was all types of sex trafficking and foreign girls coming through. A matter of fact, there's a tunnel for where the Playboy Mansion was, underground, to a whole neighborhood of rich people who used to actually walk underground to partake in all of these evil things Hugh Hefner was doing. And I'm talking about the elite allegedly were coming to these parties and going to one house and sneaking under these tunnels to deal with foreign girls that were sex trafficked by Hugh Hefner. But guess what? Diddy can't do what Hugh Hefner does and get away with it. That's why it says that we cannot walk as the Gentiles walk. There's a double standard here. Come on.
"Ye henceforth walk not as other Gentiles walk, in the vanity of their mind."
In the vanity of their mind. And let me tell you, Esau is so vain, he had a magazine named Vanity. He's so vain, he came up with, man, what Vanity? In the vanity of their mind, come on.
"Having the understanding darkened, being alienated from the life of the Most High, through the ignorance that is in them, because of the blindness of their heart."
Because of the blindness of their heart. Go ahead. Keep on going.
Verse 19. "Who being past feeling, having given themselves over unto lasciviousness, to work all uncleanness."
When it says lasciviousness, is ardent sexual activity, debauchery. Read.
"Who being past feeling, having given themselves over unto lasciviousness, to work all uncleanness with greediness." Verse 20. "But ye have not so learned Christ."
But ye have not yet so learned Christ. And hopefully wherever that brother is right now and others who are dealing on the dark side, that they would have time to reflect, to understand it's time to come back. Even if you come back without nothing, flat broke. Because none of us can take any of this with us. And let me tell you, man, there's a lot going on, folks. There's a lot going on. Let me get this real quick. And I'm going to tell you right now, I want y'all to check out this guy right here. Because it's going to come out. So I believe all of this is going to come out. Remember I talked about this during the Feast of Tabernacles in the 7th month. Don't forget, I dropped this on y'all. Let me get something here, 1 second. Right here. There's a guy right here, a well-known brother from Chicago, was called the godfather of the music business, Clarence Avant. This guy, Clarence Avant, was really like the master or the master negotiator between the elites, synagogue of Satan and jewelry and all that, and those who would make it in the music business. His name is Clarence Avant. And believe it or not, P. Diddy and others would always lean on him for wisdom when the system was seeking to come against them. There's so many charges that was out there when it comes to P. Diddy, where he had chances over and over again, and Clarence Avant would call in favors to protect him. And then Clarence Avant died mysteriously. Now, this wasn't by the hands of P. Diddy. But after he died, there was no one left to advise him. But I believe in all of this, that when they begin to press on P. Diddy or Puffy, it's going to come out what really happened to this man. And it may surprise you who's behind getting rid of him. I'm just putting that out there. I believe, folks, that a lot of stuff is going to come out. And at the end of the day, it's going to be revealing a lot of the wickedness that have been going on to really keep our people under control and keep us under a delusion that came with that culture. I believe that through all of this, what happened to Tupac will eventually come out. What happened to Biggie is going to come out. All of that. And what I hope that comes out of this, that our brothers, our young men, will chart a new direction than believing that there's an escape that can have us grow financially through hip hop or the music business. That we would need to hold to something else outside of chasing a dream. And guess what? The only choice that's left for our people is the truth. Is the truth. When it comes to upward financial mobility, when it comes to being able to become millionaires or whatever the case is without becoming a football player or a music artist, all of those things are drying up. Even when it comes to manual labor, becoming a tradesman and being able to make money with the work of our hands. They already have the immigrants here to replace us with that. Okay, so the time of being a carpenter and being able to be an electrician and all these others and make money, folks, the immigrants are going to price us out of the market. And I believe that where we are right now is where the Most High wants us. Okay, Judah. Okay, Israel, what are you going to do? You're back in a corner, and the only one who can help you through this is the Most High. You choose me or choose death. That's where we are, folks. With that, thank you. Y'all have any last words before I pull up? Let me open this up.
Blog Talk.
I'm gonna pull up Blog Talk real quick. What's that? Yeah, see what's going on with it. I'll pull up Blog Talk real quick. You gonna check it out?
I just want to say this also, because because of the even with the drug cartels right now coming over here, what they're doing right now, the places where they're coming out from now, they're stopping people from sending money to their area now, because of the drug cartels. So like whatever it is, if it's Costa Rica or whatever it is, they're stopping those particular countries now and saying that they are not allowed to send any type of money. I don't care if you're a citizen or not. If it's coming out from America, it cannot be sent. So they're trying to stop all those type of things that right now. One of my officers there, primary source, told me that as well too, because there's a member there from a particular country there, and he tried to send some funds, and they denied him. It don't matter if it's check or anything like that. They're saying that there's too much things going on back and forth with money coming from here and there, so they're kind of tightening up with those
They
type of stuff.
tightened it up.
Yep.
And they also tightened it up. And guess what? One area of escape financially we had in the hood was to be able to make something our people in the drug game.
Yeah.
With the immigrants coming over, that's over.
Yep.
It's going to be the immigrants taking over all the streets.
Yep.
And that's it. That's it, because they were the plugs. But not only will they be the plugs now, a lot of those, let me tell you, a lot of those drugs and stuff was coming in from Asia and all of that.
Yep.
Right? Even since the 60s, it was coming over from Asia.
Yep.
Now, instead of them being just a plug supplying our people with the poison to kill one another, they're going to say, nah, we're taking all of these corners. It's our stuff. They're going to move these cartel people from over there and bring them to work on the corners in our neighborhoods. And then, now there's no way out financially for our people and the young men. And what will be left to do for our young men? You know what's going to be left to do? Crime. The only avenue left is stick up and all these others that's going to lead to a civil war within the inner cities. 515-605-9327. We have to go back to the campground. Right? We have to go back to the campground, but before I go there, let me just take a few calls. What say you? Let's see. And yes, this academy, this week we'll be going into.
Blog Talk Radio.
This week we'll be
Welcome
going
to
into.
Blog Talk Radio. Please hold and you will be able to listen to the show.
This week after the Tabernacles, this Sunday, we'll be going into.
Unmuted.
We'll be going into Christianity. There will be no rapture. Okay? So for the Christians who think, well, I don't care what the immigrants are doing, God is going to take me in the rapture, your behind going to be right here. Okay? You ain't going nowhere until Christ returns. There will be no rapture. And we're going to be talking about that this weekend in the academy. 515-605-9327. What say you? I started off, believe it or not, I was going to forego Blog Talk and just be there at the camp all week. But I'm like, you know what? I'll be sitting there Wednesday night after relaxing out there amongst the campground, bored out of my mind and all this stuff going on in my mind and what's going on in the world, with thousands of people waiting out there to have me chime in on what's going on in the earth. And really, P. Diddy is a small fish, and they're using this, folks, all in all. I'm using it for a teaching moment. But all in all, they're using this to take off other pertinent news, to take that news off of the media cycle. Because if you're talking about P. Diddy, no one is talking about the second attempt, like Elder Lawya mentioned, as they claim happened on Trump. Now, whether you believe it happened or not, he would have overtook the media cycle for another week.
Right.
And folks, that's not going to work when they're trying to drag Kamala Harris over the finish line. That can't work to have them talking about Trump, right? When Harris is already losing or killing. Nobody wants Kamala Harris and ever wanted her. So what they trying to do is take certain things off of the media cycle, so to push her over the finish line. And then they're trying to cover up the fact that they're still bombing the Palestinians, and they're probably going to let 2 million more migrants in to press upon our people. So when Kamala talks about there's housing, we have to make sure there's more housing, she's talking about housing for her people, not our people. There's a tax credit. We get $25,000 towards a house. And our people can't afford these houses with the interest rates. So who is you giving this $25,000 to? Babylonians, East Indians. So don't fall for that crap they're saying, okay? By the time November comes, there might be 2 million more of Kamala Harris's people with dots on their head pressing upon you in the inner cities. Darren, who that? Darian? Darian has a comment and question, or question.
Hey.
Hey, Darian.
Hey, hello, how's it going, Elder?
I am blessed by the Almighty. What say you?
Hey, man, I say great lesson, man. I caught it probably towards the middle, and you actually answered one of my questions that I had. Shalom to Elder Lawya and the other gentleman also.
Bishop Shamal.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
but yeah, my inquiry was exactly what you had kind of went over, was that with those big names, isn't there a limit to what they can do as far as getting together and going into the neighborhoods and spending their money specifically to help us? I thought that I had heard that it was like some sort of thing to where they specifically had a direction that they can't do that. You know what I'm saying? And I was just wondering, did they have a choice? Like, what was their other outlet? You know what I'm saying? Other than to keep their money.
Hey, brother.
If there is some type of thing. Yes, sir.
Let me answer this. Yeah, there's an agreement that they're not to really use it for certain things because it's their handlers. If you're going to invest your money, usually they give you handlers and accountants to make sure the money doesn't go back into our people. But if you know they're coming and they're going to bankrupt you anyway, there's nothing to stop you from going to the bank, getting everything you can in cash, and going out to where you know you live at in the inner cities and just throw the money out there into the streets. How can they stop that?
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, if he did that, there'll be nothing for them to come after.
Yeah.
Because either he's going to give it to his people, or all of these vultures who are lawyers, who are really behind all of these particular cases on him, are going to get it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's deep. That's deep, bro. That's deep, Elder.
Yeah.
Also, I also wanted to tell you, man, I called back a couple of years ago and you asked, how did I get into you guys? And I told you that going through the history lane and going through like the Tariq Nasheed history lane. And, I've been keeping up ever since. And it is more growing to do because it's also another aspect that I'm going through, a lesson that you did a while back as far as the working, and how you jumped off the leap of faith from your insurance job that you had, you know what I'm saying, and jumped off your leap of faith, and you've been on it ever since. I feel like I'm still stuck on that bridge also. So if you could do a lesson about, like, how it's still a whole section of Israel that, still going to work, and I still feel like that's, still a remnant of,
all right.
the curse and stuff like that.
I'm going to help you out, real brother. How old are you?
33.
33. What is it you are you doing insurance? What are you doing?
No, sir. I do more like county work. Outside, I work for the county in Georgia. The county in Georgia.
Doing what?
Department of Transportation. So we do road stuff like for the county.
I got you. I got you now. I got you.
Doing the land
brother. This is what you got to do, right? And this is I couldn't just have gotten off of my job without finding ways of making legal money to supplement at least the bills I were paying under that job, right? So I used to do simple things, right? If I know that I'm in Philadelphia, you got Wynn Plaza, you got a lot of different areas. Back then you had Belmont Plateau. So when there was events, I had a truck. I had a little van or whatever the case is. So I would hook a grill to my truck and go down when I know there was events, and I would have dogs, burgers, and all these things. And if I know there's an event, I could collect $700 to $1,200 on the event, just flipping burgers and all that right there and selling them off where any event was, right? So I would do little things like that. And then I would work breakfast at Fridays in the morning downtown, right? I would put on my stuff. I would wake up early in the morning and I would work the breakfast, and I'll be out of there by lunch and have an extra 100 in my pocket, right? But this is what so always understand, it's not about the job you're making, more so than trying to supplement the money that you're making. See? So you're not looking at the job. Oh, how much am I making and what are my bills? What can I do to supplement those bills and still have more time than if I were working on the job? Right? So here's a good idea. I was talking to our conversation amongst the brethren yesterday. Because eventually they're going to replace us, even in your job you're doing. They have plans to replace you with the immigrants. I'm going to tell you. So I'm going to tell you what you do.
Yeah.
Get yourself a flat top.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Get yourself a flat top or a grill. Go online and find out how to get an EIN number under an LLC. Take your computer. Make yourself a menu. Find out how to market what you do. And not only do you hustle fast food, right? You can also find out how to get your fast food on Uber Eats or whatever the case is, and they'll come wherever you are and pick up your food and deliver it. Because I'm going to tell you, I lived overseas. The immigrants learn how to do this as teenagers, before they're teenagers. That's why when they come over here, automatically they get a stand, because they're already doing something like that from where they come from. Okay? So it's time. I'm going to tell you, that's how you have to do it. Find a small niche something. You don't have to think about a billion things. Find one thing you do well and make that a product. And at least be able to supplement. And at least be able to supplement the amount of money you're actually making right now. So again, you're not looking at the job, you're looking at the bottom line, and you're looking at how to make that same amount of money without putting in the same hours. It's quite that simple. All right?
Oh, man. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Just do it. And if you put your mind to it, you pray on it, and guess what? It gives you a head start, because the same mindset that it took for you to go into that and make that a success, it's going to open up something in you psychologically. And you're going to realize, man, I can apply this same program to any part of my life and succeed. Okay?
Yes, sir. Oh, I love that. Yes,
my
sir.
brother. All right?
All right.
All right. Shalom.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome. Niles has a question. How you doing, Niles? Good evening. Niles, you there? Okay, Niles must be on.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Niles. Good evening. How are you?
I'm sorry about that.
It's fine. What say you?
I'm well. Thank you. Well, I wanted to actually call in because I'm actually going through a little bit of a struggle with just a little bit right now. I grew up in church. I grew up with the whole, I grew up as a worship leader actually, and I'll just have to be honest with you. I feel like I'm going through a little bit of what Solomon went through. I was just on fire, man. With just kind of waking up and realizing, and then somebody said to me, actually, this woman I was dating at the time, she said, how can you believe in this book when your oppressors gave it to you. And that really, I had heard it before, but it just, for some reason, when she said it, and again, because I was, I'm in love with her and or was in love with her, it kind of hit me, it hit me in the gut. And as a black man and as a leader, as someone who is standing up for my family and wanting to stand for my family, here's a lady who I'm wanting to, marry and kind of, go forward with. She's asking me, how can I believe something that my oppressor?
Okay, brother, I've heard that before. Okay,
yes,
that was one of the first questions Elder Rawchaa had for me, and now he's a teacher in the church. So let me ask you this, and make it short. What was your answer to when she asked you the question? You were stumped?
I'm sure I said something.
Were you stumped?
I'm sure I did say
that was the
something,
question.
I think I was. Yes.
You were stumped.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
Well, you didn't know. Yes. You didn't know the proper answer. The proper answer was this. The oppressor didn't give this to us. King James, who was over the what? He authorized the translation. He was a black man.
Yes.
If you'd have answered that way, then she would have been inquisitive to understand how you knew that and why no one ever told her that. See? So the answer to this is the white man didn't give me anything. The Bible is a black man's book. King James translated that. What white man is going to give you a book that says that Jesus Christ, whom they call ignorantly Jesus Christ, was black like burnished brass, and here white and woolly? If a white man was going to give you a book, he would have definitely changed that.
Right. Yeah.
Right? So it's not that what she said had any strength to it. You just weren't learned enough to answer it.
Yeah, and I was weak in the moment. I was into her like that. You know what I mean?
I'm
so
saying,
it's kind of like,
but it's another thing.
What?
Another thing.
Yeah.
So there's other things going on. When you say you were like Solomon, that means you had faith of the Most High and was weakened through a woman. And it had you question your faith because of a woman.
That's right. That's what I'm calling.
Yeah. I mean, hey, brother, listen, you're a young man. We all go through some of these phases. But then when you find the Most High, you put everything in its proper priority, including a woman.
It's real. Okay, I understand.
So let's get the order. So let me give you the order. The Most High.
Okay.
You got that? Corinthians 11. Who's after the Most High?
Absolutely.
Who's after the Most High? Christ.
That's right.
Who's after Christ? Man. And who's after man?
And the woman. That's it.
Huh? Say it again. She ain't around you, is she?
The woman's after the man and then the children. No.
Okay, is she around you? So who's after?
No. I'm
okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
I'm not
okay. She's not listening. Hopefully.
No.
You sound like you're shaking right now.
No.
After the man, brother, it's the woman.
Yeah.
So
right.
guess what? It doesn't matter what she's feeling about the Bible and all that. You are putting things in priority. Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
All right? So I would tell her, regardless of what you think, this book is a black man's book. And this black man right here, if you're with me, you're going to follow me. And I'm a black man that's going to deliver you the book. So what's the problem? Ain't no white man around here. So what are you doing? You're putting things in its proper priority. All right?
Okay.
And what you're doing,
All right.
what you're doing is you're actually, I'm going to tell you, you're rooting out spiritually. Listen to this, what's going on. You're rooting out of yourself, because you don't want to go here. You're rooting out of yourself the simp spirit. All right?
Okay.
We have to kill, we have to kill the simp. Okay?
I hear you on that.
All right.
Let me, can I say this?
Yeah.
Because I hear you, and I hear you calling me a simp.
No. I'm not calling you a simp.
Well, let me.
Now listen. You don't got to get defensive.
Okay.
Listen to what I'm saying.
That spirit.
What I'm saying is, I can go back to Solomon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even talking about you. Because you
get that. I totally get that.
Yeah, because you got women who was working on him.
Yeah.
And they were beautiful, and they began to. These women can pull at your manhood.
Well, that's exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So that's what I'm talking about. I don't believe you are a simp, but what happens if they get control and we don't take priority? What happens is that's what we become. And I'm not challenging you to not become that. But too many of us, let me tell you,
I understand.
What I'm saying is, for years we've been hearing in our community and haven't been really taking it in. And it's a shame. For years, the word out on the streets were, we would follow the black man, but a lot of our men are weak. We've been hearing that over and over again, and we've been taking that as some type of slight and become defensive. Right?
Okay.
So now we need to flip that. Well, listen.
Okay.
I'm putting myself out there, not you. Let's get off you real quick. For years we've been hearing this. I understand. So now it's like, well, okay, I'll accept what you were saying. Right? The black man is weak. I'll take that. You can claim we're weak. But when I stand up with this Bible to take my position, you must get out of the way. And if you can't get out of the way, no longer can you claim the black man is weak. You're standing in the way of my strength. So that's how you flip it. So I don't mind people calling me whatever they want. But when I come to stand in my authority, you must get out of the way then. Or do you just want to call us weak? See?
Okay. Well, if I could just speak up for myself in this moment, just real quick. Because I broke up with her. I'm just kind of still in love with her, but I did let her go. So I did.
Well, brother, you didn't have to break up with her. You could go get her back.
No, I did. Actually, I did.
I'm just saying, brother.
It's okay.
Listen, brother. Listen. I think we have to. Listen, brother. I'm gonna write your number down, and I believe we need to have a conversation outside of this, right? Because if you're hurting, you're going through a vulnerable moment, that's understood, and there's nothing wrong with that. You care for the woman, so let me call you, and we'll talk about this, Niles. Because, brother, they don't just because she's out of pocket right now doesn't mean you have to let her go, okay? Unless she went all the way out of pocket.
Well, let's talk about that. Because it's very interesting, some things that happened, and I knew I had to stand up, and it wasn't going to be. I just knew I had to stand up.
Well, let me just ask you this now: where did you meet this young lady?
At work, at my job. Yeah.
Lord, boy, you're breaking some carnal rules. I'm gonna tell you,
some cardinal rules. I don't work with her. She was coming in to my job.
She didn't work at your job.
Yeah. No.
Okay, all right. Well, listen, brother, it's okay. I got your number, and we'll talk about it. But I don't think you are a simp.
I really appreciate it.
And none like that. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Thank you, sir.
Understanding when I'm speaking, and I'm talking and there's 2,000 people in the room, I'm generalizing to make a point.
I get that.
Right?
I get it.
So no,
I appreciate that too.
All right, I'm generalizing to make a point. I don't believe. Listen, brother, there's some women out there that could. The Bible says that there's some men, even strong men, who've gone out of their wits for the love of a woman.
Man, I'll tell you.
Let me tell you, man. A woman can pull something out of you that you didn't know existed. I mean, think of. He's a woo. Oh yeah, brother. Woo. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. They was looking at Mike Tyson, was like, man, listen, this guy can punch a hole through a wall and anyone who steps in front of him. Okay?
Right.
I mean, what do we got? Oh, I know what we got. We got a groupie who came from college who knocked on his door at 3 a.m. and claimed that she was only there to say hello. And locked him up 3 years that took away the prime of his strength with an accusation. That's the power of a woman.
Yeah.
Let me show you the power of a woman, my brother. Here it is. There's been many guys, quote unquote, allegedly abused by P. Diddy.
Mm-hmm.
Even the last guy where this case came out, who produced his last album, said that he was put in compromised positions through being around P. Diddy. But guess what?
Right.
Ain't nobody talking about that man. Oh, Cassie, though, or anyone else that they can pull from the past as a woman, is why his pockets are turned inside out rabbit ears right now. That's the power of a woman. Okay? And guess what? Guess it tell you in the Bible. The only spirit that can humble a woman or have them fear God or respect a man the way he should be respected. The only way a man can walk in his true authority with a woman is to have the truth. Or you're outmanned.
You say the truth?
You must have this truth and follow this Bible.
Yes.
Because what?
Yes.
Because why? Here's the truth. There's only two governments in a nutshell. The government of this world and the government we can't see. And the government of this world is on her side. Okay? All right, I'll talk to you. I'm gonna call you soon now. Hey.
Wow. Okay.
You can't win. All right? The only government that can topple this government. That's why I tell you in the book of Esdras that out of everything in the world, wine, the king, everything, there's nothing more powerful than a woman. Nothing.
That's right. That is what it says. That's right. I remember that. Yes.
And the only way to overcome the strength the world has given a woman is the truth. That's why if you say you're an Israelite and run into a woman, I don't care if she into you or not, and you're single, she gonna do a about face and run as fast as she can. Okay, usually they're like, you what? Because she can't see how she has an end to control you.
Very interesting.
Very interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, you making me remember some things that happened like in line. So I know exactly what you're saying. I really appreciate you.
My brother. All right, my brother.
Yeah.
Shalom.
Yeah. Thank you. And I would appreciate that call anytime you give it. So
I will call you now.
You feel like it.
I will call you.
That would be awesome.
Shalom.
Thank you, sir. Shalom, brother.
Man, they'll have you on IG Live. What is it you want from me? Straight up. Princess Rodriguez.
Shalom, elders.
Shalom, Princess Rodriguez. How are you?
Okay. I'm from the Jamestown body.
Yes.
So I've been trying to get in contact with you for a while. I even wrote you a letter, but I don't know if you received it. I have a separate situation, and I'd like to have you to give me a call, and I would appreciate it.
Okay, you just want me to give you a call?
Yeah, please.
Okay, is everything good down at the Jamestown body?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, that's good then. I'm like, don't be calling here snitching on people. These men we set up are doing the best they can. Right?
No.
All right. Hold on. All right. Princess Rodriguez, right?
Yes.
All right. We go, Princess. We want to make sure we call you. Now it's going to be after the tabernacles, so wait until after the tabernacles, okay?
Yes, Elder.
All right. Bye. I'm gonna place you on hold. I mean, if anything, they give you some material. Heard Tyrese got a whole new album out on the pain and struggle. Check. Yeah. Yeah, I'm putting it out there that when people talk about the courts and all that, they send threatening letters and all that to bait you down there. And once they bait you there, at the end of the day, they're not looking to get nothing from the woman because they know, people know the numbers, okay? Men have the money, okay? I don't care what they say online. They know men have the money. So they're not there to hear the case to find out who's right or wrong. The family courts are there to siphon money from the man. That's it. It's a business. And you're not going to press upon the person who isn't going to have the money to help continue the business. The women business is to lure the men down so that they can be shaken from the ankles. That's the game. Okay? You sit here talking about, yeah, I got receipts. I got text messages. You think you hear that, man? Listen, I got all the proof. And she comes in there with nothing. No proof or nothing, and leaves with everything. Y'all better wake up. The Bible tell you unless you have the truth, the woman is the most powerful of all on earth, unless you have the truth. It's her. She's the most powerful. She's over the king. She's over wine. She's over armies. She's over all of that. Why? Because you will have a guy go to war to make sure his woman stays safe. You'll have a king who will travel overseas and take a nation and take another kingdom for the love of a woman. Okay? You can have a woman who say, man, somebody did something to me, and you got the whole block fighting someone because of an accusation. Men can't do these things. But the truth excels her. Because the truth will have you not only understand what's going on, you'll have the truth to be able to filter her nonsense, if she has some nonsense, through what's right according to the Bible. Okay? You're able to filter her through the word, and now what works in the world doesn't work on you. See? Michelle has a question.
Hello, elders.
And listen. Excuse me. I'm going to show you how powerful.
Thank you for taking my call.
Hold on one second, sister. I'm going to show you how powerful the woman is, according to scriptures too. You can have a woman flat broke, where all of her career was nothing, and she would make her way into one of P. Diddy's parties and was a part of one so-called what they call freak off, or whatever the case is. And she can cry and say something happened to her and acquire generational wealth from that one night. Mm-hmm. Now check that out. She's been all over the place sleeping for nothing before that. But that one night can give her generational wealth. A man can't do that. How you doing, Michelle?
Hello, Elder. Thank you for taking my call. I actually have a question or a comment and a question.
Yes.
I stay off social media, so I don't get too involved in some of the things that are going on right now. Of course, all of the big things that you mentioned, yeah, it's found a way to my front door. I'm in fintech, so we're constantly getting updates and things like that. But I appreciate your take on how, or just your broad analysis of all of it, because I think, you know, it's easy to lose the fact that it's really a spiritual enclave, you know, with what's even happening with Diddy, because, you know, I don't think anyone in Yashara wants to see that. I don't think they want to see black men just continually be pummeled in the public sphere. I don't think we want that whatsoever. But I guess my only takeaway would be the good news would be that, yes, we're starting to see all of these things crumble. And that gives me some relief that we are starting to really see these things crumble before us. So I really do appreciate the fact that you brought that out and that you made that, you know, the forefront of the conversation, that we can see some work on our behalf.
Yeah.
You know? The other thing that I wanted to mention as well, so I feel sort of that tug in terms of diversifying skill, how me as a person, as a mother, is able to build in different directions. I sold a business a few years ago and then ended up going back to work. And now I'm thinking I'm going to have to work and go back into business because I just need to make sure that that I do have some more skill sets. I don't want to get caught out there in retirement or anything without having something to fall back on, because there won't be the Walmart jobs if I decide to go back to work. There won't be, you know, all these little things that people do in retirement, right? None of that stuff is going to be there in 15, 16, 20 years when I'm probably going to be ready to retire.
Well, sister, usually women, hold up, sister. Usually women think that there'll be a husband somewhere, to not think of having to work at Walmart near retirement stage. Why isn't a husband?
I was a young widow.
What I'm saying is, why isn't a husband the default for you?
I'm sorry.
Why isn't the husband?
I was a young widow.
Yeah, you're a widow. I'm sorry to hear that, But you know, as a widow, you can marry again.
Yeah, I don't know that that's really I don't know that that's really a space for me at this time. I'm really focusing on getting ready. You know, I want to get ready for whatever space that the Most High has for me.
Okay.
I have a granddaughter and 2 sons that you know, I want to spend more time with and develop a closer nation. Or be in that work for creating a closer nation as a family.
Okay.
We all, you know, that requires constant prayer because they're believers, but you know they're not connected.
Are you are you a member of the of one? Are you a member within one of the churches? Yes.
I don't. We have one here. You know, I've tried a few different places, and I really just listen to you online. I join your services online, but I'm in Phoenix, and I don't believe we have a location here.
Yeah, we have a location there, sister.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so let me put
I'd love to get the contact information at some point, but no. I'm not in any service. I really do just join your services online as often as I'm able.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just make sure the bishop there reach out to you, Michelle, okay? Is that okay?
Okay.
All right.
That's perfect. Thank you.
All right, stay strong.
Thank
and yeah, and bless you. And someone will be reaching you before Monday, all right?
Okay, very
All right.
good. Thank
Shalom.
you.
Okay, I'm going to take a few more calls before that, and then after that, I'm going to break down. And I know some people might say, well, Elder, for a woman to do something like that, that's wrong. That she would do something like that, sue him knowing that, you know, it's a money grab. Of course it's wrong. I'm not saying that she's right who would do something like that. I'm talking about the P. Diddy thing and go there and rob him of his hard-earned money. But the whole thing is the fact that she can do that and have that option is what I'm talking about. Not right or wrong. Because there's a lot of women who understand that they could use the government for their own turn, but refuses to do something like that because it's immoral. It's wrong. There's a lot of women know, even if they don't use the government, the power they have as an option to use it. And that's what I'm talking about, the power of a woman. You have a lot of women who know a lot that women are doing wrong and using the government, weaponizing the government against men. I was looking at a video last night and it tripped me out. And this was a brother and sister, elders, from, they were from the islands. But then they moved over to the United States. She has her own house now, and she moved her sister in the house. And she wanted to divorce the brother from Jamaica, and they're married. She's sitting there crying and all that. She cried and told the police, told her father that there was a gun he had, come now, and all of that. And there was a white police officer taking all of these reports. And she said he put a gun to her chin and all of this. And you say that about a black man, that's a death sentence. And you know what? She sounds believable. But then there was a white woman cop who came, who listened to both sides and came down and spoke to the man. And he says, no, I swabbed the child last month and I found out the baby isn't mine. I always carry my own gun. I'm a respectful man. She's a smart woman. I love her. But she got mad because I swabbed the child and all this, and then she wanted to divorce me. She called me over to divorce with divorce papers and said to sign something. And I said, listen, I don't know the law. Let me look at it first. She began to curse me out and poke me in the face and call me all types of names. And he said that I carry a gun with me. I was sat on the porch and I had it hidden And I had my phone playing the whole time because I know she's a smart woman. Man, when he played that video, it was a different woman than the one that was upstairs crying that almost had the cops kill this brother. She was calling him everything but the Son of God, saying, what are you going to do? And hitting him in the face. I dare you to do something to me. And was talking about his mother, his parents, foul mouth. And then the white woman went upstairs and spoke to her. And guess what? They took her out in cuffs for assault. But just imagine if that brother didn't have that encounter recorded. So what I'm saying is, women know they have the power. They know the government will side with them 10 times out of 10. That's power. But a virtuous and righteous woman would never seek to use that. Okay? So I'm not saying that it's right that a woman could siphon money out of P. Diddy for one night by claiming something happened. I'm not saying that's right. But the fact that the government will allow someone to get a payday like that to rob a black man in of itself shows the power of a woman. 832 area code. It's a privilege. 832 area code.
Hello?
Yes.
Oh, how you doing? Oh, shalom, man. I've been watching you for like about 7 years now. My sister put me on. We always go to the church and stuff. Man, my thing was, man, talking about this, I was putting in the comments earlier, going back to Genesis, that there was 2 trees. There was the tree of life and the tree of knowledge and wisdom. And that Satan has put the tree of knowledge and wisdom there for Eve to bite that from what I was told. And now it's just like...
Well, brother, listen, she ain't the only one ate from the tree. Adam ate from it too.
Exactly.
But go on.
But yeah, exactly. And that's what we got. That's why all men have an Adam's apple from our neck, because he choked on him when he realized.
I don't know. What scripture is that?
It's not a scripture, but it's a fact, man. Every man has an Adam's apple.
I know.
And it lets you know that.
Hold up, brother. Hold up. If you've been to the church, you know about beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy. I want you teaching those scriptures, but I want to make sure you're correct with them. That wasn't an apple on the tree, my brother. All right?
Correct. You're correct.
So
it's been a while.
I understand, brother. So that in of itself takes the apple off the table, the Adam's apple. It wasn't no apple on the tree. All right, but I'm feeling what you're saying though. What you have for me next? Wait, Lawya. Keep on going.
It's just the fact that as the woman, I ain't talking down on women at all in that. But my point is, like you're saying, the women got the power. You know what I'm saying? The black women, all women, just in case, like Holloway, when with the story that you just told, Holloway, she called the cops and claimed all that stuff that old boy did, but he didn't do it, and that he just found out that was his child. And me personally, I'm going through some stuff like that, and it's messed up how the way a woman can just pick up a phone call and the white cops or the cops can just believe the woman instead of always getting our side of the story.
All right. Anything else?
That'll be it, man.
All right, Shalom. The water for your call, brother.
Okay, thank you, Brother Lawya. And I want to say this.
Muted.
The whole thing when it comes to injustice and unrighteousness, no one gets away. And that's the whole point of the matter. No one gets away. And eventually the judgment comes on those who are unjust. It doesn't matter male or female. And right now we're living in a time that if any of us have done wrong, now there's judgment in the earth now. So eventually, those that have been done wrong for a long time they would begin to wise up and understand how to get around the traps the enemy have put before us. And that's what I'm witnessing right now. There's a generation of men and women who understand that they must do things differently. Men aren't falling for the same traps they used to fall for. All right? And they're moving silently, knowing what's about to happen. I'll leave that there. It's a whole nother conversation. 414 area code. 414 area code. (661) area code. 661.
Unmuted.
Okay, last call for this evening. 901 area code. Shalom.
Shalom. Hello. Hi.
Hi.
Elder.
Your name, you're the last call for this evening. Blessed Tabernacle.
Hi. My name is Zoe.
Okay, Zoe, what say you?
I just wanted to thank you for everything. Happy Tabernacle. My family and I have definitely enjoyed tonight's broadcast, especially as a musician myself. Just another reminder why I'm so glad to be on this side, able to use my talents for the kingdom, to further the kingdom. I look forward to the Memphis body when it comes, and possibly being able to lend my gifts to the body there. And I also wanted to say that I remember last fall, the first time I called you, you said that you proposed that I make a strings cover to Zion, and I finally finished it. And I emailed it to the email I found on the website yesterday. And I also sent a flash drive copy. My dad mailed it. So I hope it finds you and you all are able to hear it.
Well, thank you, sister. It will find me tonight. I'm going to listen. And you send it to the email gatheringas1
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, I'm gonna pull it up and listen to it tonight, and I'll tell you what I think. And thank you for, I'm thankful that you were moved enough to actually redo the song. That's a blessing. All right.
Yes, sir.
That's a blessing. All right.
Yes,
So
sir. Thank you.
I'll hear it tonight. To Zion, by who? What's your name?
Zoe.
Zoe. To Zion by Zoe. Okay, I'll check it out tonight, sister, and thank you. All right. And
okay, thank you, Elder.
And have remainder blessed tabernacles, all of you. And yes, we will soon have a place in Memphis. We will have a place in Memphis as far as a church very soon, okay? All right.
Yes, thank you. Shalom, Elder.
Shalom. Thank you, elders. Thank you, Bishop. Been a pleasure sitting down, conversation on the couch, right? Talking to our people in the midst of tabernacles. Thank you. Who we have here? Oh, hold up. There's a Reggie here. There's a Reggie. I got to say something to Reggie real quick. He had his hand held for a long time. All right, last call, Reggie. And thank you, Elder Rawchaa. Reggie, you had your hand Shalom, you had your hand held for a long time, and I couldn't do that. So talk to me.
Hey, I got you. Say the best for last. Shout out to GOCC, the leadership, your family. Thank you for all you do. And shout out to Elder Lawya, the best region GOCC staff. How you doing?
We're blessed.
Awesome. Hey, I just wanted to say, like, I really agree with the topic and everything you're saying. Is you know, I don't want to be the dead horse, man. Everything you said was top tier. One question I want to say or give a recommendation to you, Elder. With all the information you give on the Patreon and everything, man, have you ever thought about going to Rumble, the platform?
Yeah.
The uncensored platform, kind of like YouTube.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it, or at least have it as a backup
Okay,
channel.
awesome.
Absolutely.
Gotcha. Awesome. And Elder Lawya, this is Rachel from Alabama. If you can just, if you could shoot me a call, or is there an email I can email you at? Give you a call.
GOCC
South at yahoo.com.
GOCC South at yahoo.com.
Just a reminder, I did call you, Brother Reggie, multiple times. So you got to pick up when I call.
You got to pick up.
It's a new number. Just
You
pick up
did.
when I
I
call.
tell you what, shoot me a text, because I probably just didn't recognize the number, so I appreciate it.
No doubt, my brother.
Okay, believe me, I know. You know, it's not the debt collector. Okay. I know you don't look at you don't answer anonymous calls, but you know, it's not the debt collector. Okay, I don't know who you ducking. I don't know who you ducking out there.
And shout out to
Answer the phone.
Yes, sir. Hey, I tell you what, I sure will. And shout out to the brothers from GOCC Alabama. Big shalom to them. We meet and we watch you on YouTube, Elder, on the first Saturday of each month. So we appreciate all that you do.
All right, my brother. Stay strong and answer the phone. All right.
Yes,
Shalom.
Shalom.
All right. Israel has a comment. Israel, 30 seconds. Shoot.
Yes, Shalom, Elder. I was calling in today because I just wanted church to put a prayer forth for my grandmother, because there's some corruption going on in the hospital where they neglecting to take care of her to where I can't say where, because somebody's investigating it, but like they neglected her so bad to where you can see certain parts of her bones, and then not taking care of her at all. I can't really go to the details, but they literally trying to take her life. So I was trying to, see if the you and the church can put forth a prayer, the elders, for so the Most High can do something and get justice and stop whatever they're trying to accomplish.
What's her name?
I can't say on the phone. It has to be, the name has to be said?
Just her first name.
3. Hold on. Marie.
Sister Marie, okay. And why? Have you visited her lately? Is she in your city?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Well, what I would advise is make sure you have some people there around the clock to watch what type of care she's getting. That's the best thing that can happen in the meantime. But we will put up a prayer for her. Okay?
Thank you, yes.
My brother.
All right, shalom.
All right, shalom. Because boy, they trying to put our people down up in these institutions. They really didn't get the number they wanted through the pandemic. So be careful with your people up in these hospitals. Sax player, how you doing, brother? We got 1 minute.
Happy feast. We got 3 positive lives. James Earl Jones, Tito Jackson, and somebody from your city, Frankie Beverly.
Oh yeah, Frankie just passed. Yeah.
And the thing about the Haitians down there in Springfield, my cousin picked up 2 of them in the car and talked to them. And when they said they was eating cats and dogs, they just laughed and said, "Let's go to the store and with this thing, I'll buy you anything you want."
Yeah.
2 Haitians he picked up. That's a lie.
Yeah, we all know it's propaganda.
He picked them up and he filmed it.
Yeah, there's no man. Levi ain't eating no cats and all that crap. Believe me, if they're over here as immigrants, they eating well. Okay.
Yeah.
They eating
Yeah,
very
but
well.
you take-
They got more money than an American citizen right now.
Did
Yeah,
you
you
get
could
my
be-
song, Elder?
Huh?
Did you get my song I sent you?
Yes, I got it, brother. You are highly skilled. I'm going to play it soon. Highly skilled.
Okay. And happy feast of tabernacles to the bishop and the elders, and tell Elder Lawya he can take Earl Ray Jones and he can read the King James Bible. He got a good voice too, and put it on YouTube.
Well,
He
we were
can read the
thinking
Bible.
about that, have him read out, you know, the chapters and all
Yeah.
that. But you know, that'll be in due
Yeah.
time. That'll be in due time.
Sir,
Yeah.
earlier than you think.
Yeah, right. Thank you, my brother.
Shalom.
All right, shalom.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Haitian thing, man. What it looks like they're doing is they're taking the heat off of some of the other immigrants and they're putting it all on Levi.
Exactly,
you know?
on Levi. They're just taking it off of the Ukrainians coming in number, the East Indians and Asians.
Right.
The same deal they did years ago when they claimed that there were cowboys whipping Haitians at the border.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, man. They're gonna pull that. They're gonna pull that one out of the orifices again.
Yeah.
Listen, man, it's the same trick every 4 years to get to really misdirect things off of the immigrants that they're putting in our neighborhoods and cashing them out.
Right.
All right, but hopefully our people will wake up. We still have some people out of their minds who's backing Kamala Harris, the Asian.
Yeah.
And hey, you get what you vote for. With that, we're the children of Israel. We're back. And keep in mind, the Most High is calling back Israel. I'll see you all this weekend. Shalom at the end of the feast as we end the tabernacles. Have a great evening.
Shalom.
The East is where we're from. The 12 tribes of Israel. In 721 BC, the Assyrian king, he took us down, we fell. With the great escape, we went through the Euphrates. The Lord held the water still. To a land where no mankind dwelt, we went. The 12 tribes of Israel. So we be Manasseh, the Cubans, Ephraim from Puerto Rico, Naphtali from the Isles of Hawaii. The Lord is calling back Israel. Zebulon from Panama, Gad, the North American Indians, Simeon, the Dominicans, the highest gathering in Israel. The Arabs and Africans told us at gunpoint. Together our wives and children then sold us. In the belly of these great ships we traveled and filled. By the rivers of Babylon we found our brothers here. A higher gatherers in Colombia, Reuben from Australia, Issachar, the Mexicans, a highest gatherers, Judah, the Negroes, Benjamin, the West Indians, Levi, the Haitians.